What's up guys, welcome back to another video. And in today's video I want to talk a bit about software engineering. Now I have nothing against software engineering. I'm a huge proponent of allowing people to learn to code. Learning to code just changes a lot of things for you and allows you to build products much faster, turn your ideas into reality, and technology is what drives humanity forward. So learning to code is really important. But what I want to address today is that why does everyone want to become a software engineer? Like, I'm in electronics and communications engineering. I'm doing that. I don't really like my degree, but a lot of people in my batch, like at least 90% of them, want to get into software roles. Right? They want to work for product-based companies and do a software engineering role. I'll just be exploring a bunch of reasons why I think that the situation has arisen where everyone wants to become a software engineer. The number one reason is lack of awareness. So investment banking, consulting, product management, supply chain management, there are a bunch of other things. Even if you just Google up high paying roles, you'll find a bunch of them. I feel that a lot of people aren't aware of a lot of these roles. We just go on social media platforms, we go on YouTube, see a lot of software engineering, day in the life of a software engineer videos, and you're like, oh, this is what I want to become. I'm gonna follow this guy and I want to become a software engineer. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But then it's basic supply demand, right? These jobs at premier FANG companies are meant for just a few people. They're not going to take everyone. They're not like TCS or Wipro and they just recruit everyone. It's reserved for a few number of people. And by basic statistics, not everyone's going to get in. So when there's a change of supply and demand, when the supply is too high and when the demand is so low, it doesn't make sense for everyone to apply to these to these software development roles. I remember this good TED talk by Harpreet Singh Brewer, who was saying that, because of societal pressure, everyone wants to get into certain roles, right? Like most graduates want to get into, say, software engineering or some of these roles. But then there's a second hierarchy of roles like plumbing or roles like carpentry. These are also skilled jobs, but these are more of blue collar jobs, right? Which are not as fancy. Like you can't go to your relatives and brag, hey, I'm a carpenter, or hey, I'm a plumber. It's not something brag worthy, but there's a huge demand in this second part of the pyramid. So at the top of the pyramid, you have these high paying jobs like consulting, software development, all of that. And the second part of the pyramid, you have these blue collar jobs like plumbing, carpentry, electrician, all of these kind of jobs.
On the left, you see this triangle, and for commerce to function well in a country, you should have, for every graduate, 4 diplomas. For every diploma, 4 people in ITIs actually doing skilled work. That if you have this, then the country will grow well. You will have all kind of people for all kind of jobs. Take a guess on how this looks in India. We have 2 million graduates. We have 1 million diplomas. We have 1.5 million ITIs. Nowhere close. For 2 million, we should have 32 million at the bottom, or we should have lesser on top. Right? And let me go back to why has this come to this. Everybody wants their son, daughter to become a graduate, to become an engineer. They want it. They're willing to pay for it. Government has said you can open colleges. So somebody opened a college, said, give me 10 lakh rupees, I'll make your son an engineer. Don't worry if he'll have a job or not. I don't know. Right? And the government allowed all of this to happen.
Right? The pyramid is not balanced enough. So I'm not saying that you should go out there and become a plumber, but there is a deficit. I mean, you can if you want, but there's a deficit of these second tier jobs, and a lot of people, there's a lot of gap to be filled in that case. Reason number 2 is that, in all honesty, there is a deficit of high quality software engineering jobs as well. Right? A lot of startups are struggling to hire quality engineers. It's not just in India, it's pretty much in most countries. Even in Silicon Valley, you have people struggling to hire quality engineers. So here's what happens, right? I think there are these people who are really, really interested in computer science. They get into computer science, they explore a lot of things, they develop a really good skill set, and these guys get good jobs. But then there are other kind of people who are just forced into it, who think that it might be interesting, but they aren't really interested. They're just there for the sake of it. And that makes up a huge chunk of low quality engineers who don't really get the task done, or people who don't have the skill set. Maybe they know how to code basic Python, but they don't have enough skill set to use things like Django. I'm getting it. Like, it's just not, they haven't yet reached that place. And that's why companies spend a lot on training. Like the moment someone gets hired, they spend like 6 to 9 months in just training the employee, right? Because the college, whatever the college teaches, is just so irrelevant that the company has to spend time in re-educating people and making them relearn and learn new things that are actually used out there in the industry. So whenever a fresher joins, mostly software engineering jobs or any kind of similar jobs, mostly the company trains them for quite a while, because what they learned in college isn't quite relevant to that organization. So, every organization or every startup or every team has three kinds of people: the hustler, the hipster, and the hacker. The hustler is the person who gathers everyone together. So he knows, okay, this guy's good at this, I need this person, this guy's good at this, I'm going to plan this out. That's the hustler. The hipster is the person who sells the product. He's the one who's charismatic. He's the one who knows how to talk to people. He's the one who can, sell the vision and get more customers. The hacker is the person who builds the product, the person who writes real code, the person who builds out the software, the person who builds out, the entire software architecture. So you need to decide which one of these roles you need to be in. So you might take any kind of role, say product management. Product management might come under the hustler role. Sales might come under the hipster role. So you need to decide which kind of person you are. If you don't really like to code, then don't worry. There are a lot of opportunities out there. All you have to do is just use Google for your benefit, and then see what are the options you have, right? And I want to make a bunch of videos of, non-technical skills as well, so that you guys get aware of, what are the opportunities available in consulting or investment banking or all those non-technical things that aren't really talked about on the internet. And I think that might give you some more insights. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think of software engineering. Do you really want to become a software engineer? If you really like to code, go out there and become. But just because the society is pressuring you, just because you think that's the only option out, don't do it. Right? Think through it. Think about what are the other options you have, and if you really want to do it, and then go forward with it. Because 50 years down the line, it's not really the money that you make. It's more about the regret that you'll have of not doing what you actually love to do. So go out there, do your own stuff, and let's see how it pans out. Comment down what do you think of it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.